Hey everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm John and I'm back with another video on my channel, Musings of a Marine. Got an interesting topic today and some people might find it a little controversial or maybe even a little offensive. The majority of people who watch my channel are not Filipinos, okay? And obviously most of my videos are about the Philippines. And this one is going to strike a chord with somebody. And what I'm here to talk about today is why, for me personally, I would not want to be with any woman unless she was a Filipina. Now, I want to make something very clear. Obviously, there are many good women in this world who are not Filipinas. And there are exceptions to every rule. But for me, there's various reasons for this, and I've touched on a couple of them. One of them, the odds are that the lady will be Catholic. That's very important to me as a Catholic, but it goes much, much deeper than that. I said in a couple of videos ago, about 2 weeks ago, about how being stationed over in Okinawa changed me and changed my taste in women. And I preferred Asian women over American women. And there has a lot to do with that. Number one is attitude. Just the lack of feminism that goes on over there. And it doesn't mean that Filipino women are weak. Oh, God, no. I mean, they've had 2 presidents, and we haven't even had a woman president in the United States. And so that's one thing there, okay? But just their attitudes on life and how they take care of their man, just the nurturing aspect of it. There's a saying out there. It says, a man marries a woman who reminds him of his mother. And I am telling you right now, that applies to me, okay? You would not believe, and it seems strange, that I could have a mom from Detroit, Michigan, and a wife from Iloilo City in the Philippines, and them be as alike as they are. My mom is now deceased, but one thing that I could say about my mom is she was a very nurturing person. Didn't always like some people, wasn't always friendly to some people, but when it came to her 4 children, you couldn't ask for a better mom, okay? She took care of us, she looked out after us, and she loved us unconditionally and made sure we were provided for. My wife Diana, it was the same way. And when we started dating, I noticed that instantly. She would be the one to go fetch me a pop or a beer out of the refrigerator when I would visit her at her friend's house where she stayed. Always making sure, now that we're married, the laundry's always done. There's plenty of food to eat. So much so, I don't even know which one to choose when I open the refrigerator door sometimes. She'll ask me what food I ate for lunch just to take inventory of which one that I chose, and then often scold me for picking the wrong one, but it's confusing. But how can I complain about having plenty of food to eat, right, when so many people in the world don't? So there's that. Rubbing muscle rub on me if my aching body needs it. Just all those little things that just add up. And the laundry's done, the house is clean. Now that I'm semi-retired, I help contribute to that. Always food cooked to eat, good food. She's a great cook. Another thing that I notice, even when you're watching a show with Filipino celebrities, oftentimes they're cooking on the show. Filipino celebrities, men and women, both seem to know how to cook pretty well. And that's not always the case here in the United States, and even with some women, unfortunately. It's just not a skill that's so pressed upon them in their culture, where with the Philippines it is. So when they say a way to a man's heart is through his stomach, Filipinas definitely have an advantage there, because it seems like every one of them knows how to cook and cook well. So, so there's another thing right there, besides just their religious practices. Also, there's the looks of the Filipina as compared to other Asian women. Many Asian women, in particular, I noticed Japan, Okinawan, South Korean, are typically skinny and usually don't have much going up on the chest area, okay? Sorry that matters to us guys. You know, you don't have to be endowed there, but you know, sometimes that is a thing that we enjoy, and I'm not going to lie about it. But in the Philippines, you have a whole mixture of that. And I like a woman with a little bit of a tan. If they're white, they're pale looking, and I know a lot of Filipinas have, you know, celebrities have lightened their skin over the years, and that's kind of a thing over there. I like that tan. It makes them look more healthy. If you're pale faced, it makes you look sickly, in my opinion. You know, I even have a color to my skin. Even though I sunburn easy, I'm usually more red than anything, but whatever. At least there's some color there. And working outside now, that as I do, I've actually been able to get a tan even on my legs now, which wasn't possible before, but who cares, right? Anyways, that has something to do with it too, the overall look, and better chance for them to have some curves as well. So that's another factor that plays into it. You know, you can think of some celebrities in the Philippines who were rather naturally endowed on the chest area, and good luck finding a woman like that in most cases at some other country. So I told you this is going to be a controversial video. So there's that as well. And so you've got the religion, the nurturing, the body type. Filipino women are generally short. I like that. Okay. I am the type of guy who would prefer that his lady be a bit shorter than him. It is, you know, a way of me feeding that protective instinct that I have. Now, there are exceptions to every rule on everything that I say. There is always the possibility that you could find someone who doesn't fit your ideal, you know, expectations and desires in any of those areas, and yet you fall in love with them anyways. Because in the end, it's been said many times over, and I'll say it again here, a man loves a woman by how she makes him feel. And I'm not just talking about, you know, sexually. Everything. Does she respect you? Does she take care of you? Does she nurture you? Does she support you in your endeavors? All of that kind of stuff. And it all adds up. And that's why I think so many Filipino women end up with older Westerners who are old enough to be their fathers. They have an experienced man who can take care of them, will appreciate the nurturing that they get after probably multiple failed relationships from the Western women, and they just appreciate the attention that they get. And again, the food's always cooked, the house is always clean, all of that stuff. And yes, that's so important. So it's a two-way street, and if it ends up being that the husband and the wife are 40 years apart in age, well, so what? If they love one another, if they're happy with one another, hey, then what's wrong with that? You know, the man has life insurance. It's going to help the Filipina anyways, right? But also help them make a better life for themselves and have a better life in general. You know, here in the United States, we have a country where there's plenty of opportunity. People can complain about this country, they can hate on this country, but most people still don't leave it. And many who do come back when they realize the truth that the opportunity here is so well that you do not need to be married or have a man or a woman in your life and have a successful life. But will it give you a happy life? Sometimes I wonder about that. So I just wanted to bring that up. But getting back to, you know, why I would prefer a Filipina over any other woman here in the United States, and then this is one of the biggest reasons of all, and it's family. Here in the United States, divorce is common. Broken homes are common. You know, people that grow up without a mother or a father, and I've seen how it can affect them, or their parents were there, but they weren't exactly good. You know, I've seen it firsthand, and I noticed it right from the get-go. The first time I went to the Philippines with my wife Diana in 2002, family is everything, and the kids come first. They are the center of attention. And that is why, as odd as it may seem to some people, that my best friend in the Philippines would be my nephew Baba, who was 29 years exactly my junior, that him and I could have the friendship and enjoy time together the way we do. Yeah, we're a lot alike, but it is the very fact that when I went over there starting in 2002 and definitely in 2006, when him and my nephew Pito were a little bit older, I was able to forge friendships with them that still last to this day, and be able to have sit down meaningful conversations and genuinely enjoy the company of those two men that I don't necessarily have with any other, and honestly don't have with any other nephew or niece that I have. And so that's very important to me, and it's special to me. And as I told my wife, you know, after we talked to my nephew Pito, it was his birthday on August 1st, and talked to him and wished him a happy birthday. And I said, well, one of my biggest disappointments when we go to the Philippines now is that he's not there. You know, haven't seen him in person in 8 years. That's how much my wife's family means to me. And I'm so glad that, you know, I've got two great nephews over there, Miggs and Kael, who I can, you know, forge relationships with now. I kind of have, you know, a pretty good relationship with Miggs already. He's the older of the two. But so much of that is important. Now, yeah, you've got your family feuds even in the Philippines and stuff like that. I know of two sisters who didn't speak to each other for 19 years. Okay. I'm not that close with my siblings, but I couldn't even imagine something like that happening. All I have left is a sister and a brother, and I enjoy seeing them when the rare opportunity presents itself. But we're not close. My mom and dad are gone. The sibling I was closest with, my oldest brother Vince, he's gone now. It's not the same. Whereas when I go to the Philippines with Diana, yeah, she lost her parents, but everybody else is there, and I wasn't close with her parents anyways. Her siblings, her, you know, the nieces and nephews, the great niece and nephews, all of them, I have a good rapport with and have a bond with. And that's so very, very important. And that's something that here in the United States, might be kind of rare, at least where I come from. Maybe in other parts of the country, not so much. But I grew up in a family where, it's particularly on my dad's side, even us cousins were very close. We still have a family reunion every year, even though our parents are pretty much all dead and buried. And we enjoy each other's company, and even from that evolved us playing golf together more often, including before the reunion itself. I cherish that, but it only happens, we get together twice a year, and that's it. The thing that I love, and one of the things I think about retiring in Iloilo, is that my wife's family is only one street over. Our houses might as well be connected, and I've said this before, we can go to each other's house without even letting each other know we're coming. That's not the case here in the United States, okay? So it goes beyond the woman's looks or her faith or her body type or her skin tone or anything like that. Now, to me, what makes a person attractive, what can really help make them attractive, is that they are a multitude of races. And like us people in the United States, Filipinos are generally mutts. You've got Chinese and Malaysian and the Yati, the natives, the Negritos. You've got all Spanish in there, a host of different things. Just the same as me, as I'm half German, 3/8 French, and 1/8 English in terms of ethnicity from Europe. So you've got all these different factors, and I just think it makes people look better that way. So there's that. But the biggest thing is the family dynamic. I've said it before, in particular, Iloilo is known for, nice, friendly people. And more as the younger crowd has gotten older, there's more and more people that feel comfortable approaching me and talking to me, even though they don't know me, as opposed to the way it was, 24 years ago when I first went there. It's changed, and it's changed for the better. And you've got kids now that are more educated adults over there now than perhaps back then, and they just feel more comfortable with talking with someone like me. So I love it, and that has a lot to do with it. So if you're going to marry somebody, I would like to be in good standing with their family, and if they don't have any family, then all they have is you and your family. That's a shame, because like I already said, I grew up in a family dynamic where all of us, my last name being Litchfield, all of us Litchfields, we genuinely enjoyed hanging out together as kids, as young adults, and even to this day. So, and that's typical in the Philippines, the family dynamic, even though a lot of Filipinos won't, become balikbayans and go somewhere else. Boy, when everybody gets back together, it is such a big, big deal. And I am glad that some of my wife's family never left. And of course, particularly my nephew, but also my nephew Michael and his family, his kids, are there. And that means a lot too. So it's great to have that dynamic. And I don't know if I would have that with as much with people of my own race here in the United States. So I just wanted to bring that up. 40 days till we're Philippines bound. I cannot wait. And I cannot wait to enjoy this dynamic that they have over there. So that's all I got to say on this one. I'm John. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you to the people who watched my last video. And as always, God bless and Semper Fi.